Hello everyone. Have you ever seen the Earth come alive? Literally? From billions of locusts darkening the skies to herds of wildebeest thundering across Africa, nature moves in ways that leave us speechless. These are not just migrations. They're natural spectacles where instinct, survival, and chaos collide. Get ready to witness the world's most massive animal invasions and migrations ever caught on camera. Moments that prove nature still rules this planet. South Georgia Island hosts one of the largest king penguin populations on Earth. Nearly 450,000 of them spread across some 30 colonies, accounting for half of the world's total. The surrounding waters teem with squid and fish, drawing penguins to swim hundreds of kilometers in search of their next meal. If spiders make your skin crawl, you may want to skip visiting Bali in Brazil.
Ничего в жизни страшнее не видела, у меня все трясется, они повсюду, здесь все в паутинах и пауках. Они как звезды, да? Блин, по мне кто-то ползет, мне уже плохо.
Brazil alone is home to over 3,000 spider species, and what you see in these clips is just a small glimpse of what locals encounter daily. Nature has its strange and eerie moments too. As spring begins, garter snakes gather in enormous, writhing masses to mate. Thousands of males arrive first, eagerly waiting for females that appear a few weeks later. These living knots last only a short while, making them an incredibly rare and unforgettable sight. Did you know bats make up more than 20% of all mammal species on Earth? Though often feared, these nocturnal creatures play a crucial role in our ecosystem. Some pollinate plants, while others devour vast numbers of insects, keeping pest populations under control. In many ways, bats are silent guardians of the night.
A bad thing.
Scheißen sie an einem Schädel. Now I see why they went and sat over there, because they fly right over your head there.
In Yellowstone National Park, the roads don't just belong to tourists. At any moment, you might find yourself face to face with a massive herd of bison casually crossing your path. A reminder that here, nature still rules.
Took my arms in.
Go.
Oh my goodness.
In the Arctic tundra, clouds of mosquitoes might seem unbearable, but they're vital to the ecosystem. Birds and fish depend on them for food. In 2024, scientists recorded a sharp drop in mosquito numbers and immediately noticed a decline in local bird populations, proving that even the smallest creatures play a massive role in maintaining balance. In Thailand, life for monkeys changed dramatically when the pandemic struck. Having grown dependent on food from tourists, the sudden disappearance of visitors left them starving. Hungry and desperate, entire troops invaded towns and cities, fighting for scraps, taking over streets, and even breaking into homes. Few natural sights are as mesmerizing as a vast gathering of flamingos. Found mostly in shallow, salty lakes, these elegant birds turn the landscape into a sea of pink. In East Africa, tens of thousands of them gather each year, feeding on tiny crustaceans, algae, and insect larvae that thrive in the mineral-rich waters.
Those are lesser flamingos. The greater flamingo. Greater flamingos are more white.
Every May in Cuba's Zapata National Park, crabs embark on a perilous journey from the forest to the sea to spawn. For years, thousands were crushed by cars as they crossed roads. Thanks to conservation efforts and awareness campaigns, special fences and tunnels now allow them to migrate safely, a triumph of coexistence between humans and nature.
No idea why there are so many birds around. If someone could explain this to me, it would be great. And there are birds everywhere.
A boat ride through Brazil's wetlands is not for the faint-hearted. Beneath the calm surface lurk hundreds of caimans, silent, patient, and deadly. It's a reminder that in the wild, danger often waits just below the surface. Every year between July and October, one of the planet's most spectacular wildlife migrations unfolds in Kenya's Masai Mara Reserve. It's known as the peak of the safari season, when thousands upon thousands of wildebeest and antelope cross the crocodile-infested Mara River in search of greener pastures. It's a breathtaking scene of chaos and survival, where beauty and danger coexist in perfect balance. In South and Southeast Asia, giant honeybees create enormous open-air hives, often hanging from cliffs or trees. A single village might host dozens of colonies. When threatened, the bees move together in rhythmic waves, a mesmerizing defense known as shimmering. If that fails, they launch a full-scale attack, stinging relentlessly to protect their home. When you see these scenes, you can't help but wonder, are they real or are they AI generated? Sometimes nature's raw power and perfection look almost too surreal to be true. In August 2017, a small town in southern Russia found itself under siege, not by people, but by millions of locusts. The town lay directly along their migration path, and soon every field, road, and rooftop was blanketed with the insects. Even with locals trying to catch them by the dozens, the swarm seemed endless, a living storm that refused to thin. Viewed from above, thousands of stingrays glide together like shadows in motion, a breathtaking reminder of how much beauty lies beneath the waves. Every year, off the coast of Australia near Melbourne, thousands of giant spider crabs gather as they shed their shells. Vulnerable without their armor, they huddle together on the sandy seabed for safety. It's an eerie yet fascinating underwater spectacle that lasts only a few weeks in late May and early June. That dark, fuzzy patch on the ceiling? It might not be dirt. It could be a colony of daddy longlegs. These spiders often live in large groups, clustering in corners or under roofs. Their collective living helps them stay safe from predators, regulate temperature, and trap prey more effectively. And finally, to truly grasp the scale of nature's wonders, look no further than the stingray migration off Mexico's coast. When you see seabirds diving into the ocean with explosive precision, you can bet there's a sardine run happening below. Thousands of sardines swim close to the surface, creating a feeding frenzy. Birds dive at nearly 100 kilometers per hour, fish swarm below, and predators of every kind join the chase. For the sardines, it's a dangerous migration, one they rarely survive. San Francisco's Pier 39 is famous not only for its views, but also for its most beloved residents, sea lions. They began appearing here in 1990, drawn by plentiful food and safety from predators. Over 3 decades later, their numbers have multiplied, with over 2,000 sea lions now lounging across the docks, turning the pier into a world-famous attraction. These are gnat lavi, tiny yet fascinating creatures that move in perfect unison. They form tight, writhing clusters that behave almost like a single living organism. This formation helps them fend off predators, conserve moisture, and locate food more efficiently. By merging together in this way, their chances of survival multiply dramatically. Nature's version of strength in unity. The snow goose is a true traveler of the skies. Its breeding grounds span the frozen regions of Greenland, northern Siberia, Alaska, and Canada. But as winter approaches, these birds embark on an extraordinary journey southward, migrating to the warmer climates of North America. Their great migration fills the skies with an unmistakable sound, a thunderous chorus of wings and calls that can be heard for miles.
Every year, zebras in Botswana embark on what's considered Africa's longest migration.
In Botswana, every year marks the beginning of Africa's longest land migration, that of the zebras. Scientists tracking their movements discovered that, come December, more than 20,000 zebras begin their southward journey, covering over 1,000 kilometers in just a few weeks. By February, the herds return north. Locals say it's one of the most spectacular sights in nature, and the perfect time to experience an unforgettable safari. Driver ants, also known as army ants, are among the most formidable insects in Africa and tropical Asia. When food runs scarce, they march in massive, organized columns that can stretch for hundreds of meters. Incredibly, up to 20 million ants can move just 20 meters in an hour, devouring everything in their path. Yet their raids do more good than harm. They keep pest populations under control, making them welcome visitors to farmlands.
When I was walking through the fields up there, not as many as this, but they came over. It's frightened right at me. I could hear them.
Even the murmuration of ordinary birds is mesmerizing, but a massive flock of budgerigars is something else entirely. This rare event was once captured in Central Australia, where rising humidity caused the budgie population to explode. Thousands of these vibrant green birds now sweep across the desert skies in synchronized motion, a dazzling show of color and sound. Until the next dry spell, this will be their home. The migration of ladybugs might look alarming at first glance, carpets of red and black moving across the ground and trees. But scientists reassure us, there's nothing to fear. These harmless insects are simply searching for a cozy spot to hibernate. Along the way, they act as natural pest control. A single ladybug can devour dozens of aphids in one day. Judging by scenes like these from Northern California's mountains, the aphids here don't stand a chance. Just a few hours from Mexico City lies one of the most magical places on Earth, the Monarch Butterfly Biosphere Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site spanning 56,000 hectares. Every year, millions of monarch butterflies migrate here from the United States and Canada, traveling thousands of kilometers to reach this forest sanctuary. From November to March, the trees shimmer orange and gold as tourists gather to witness this breathtaking spectacle of life and endurance. Beneath the waters of Malé, the Maldives' main commercial port, lies a fascinating display of teamwork in the animal kingdom. Small fish, vulnerable on their own, band together in tightly packed schools, forming large moving shapes. This illusion of size confuses predators. After all, few would dare attack what appears to be a single massive creature. In the underwater world, survival often depends on the strength of the group. In the rivers of North America's Pacific Northwest, another iconic journey unfolds, the migration of salmon. Every year from September to November, they swim upstream against powerful currents to spawn. This event signals a feeding frenzy for bears, eagles, and other predators preparing for winter. The salmon sacrifice nourishes entire ecosystems, earning it the title of a keystone species, a true lifeline of the wild. On August 28, 2014, Madagascar's capital faced a crisis of biblical proportions. A massive locust invasion blanketed more than 1 million hectares of land. The swarm threatened to devastate the nation's agriculture, forcing the United Nations to step in with $44 million in emergency funding. Aerial spraying operations were launched immediately to save the crops and the country's food supply.
ยกพวกตีกันอยู่อันตราย
โอ้ลิงกูมาว่ายกพวกตีกันมาเดี๋ยวมันสิแลนไปใส่
What's today's date, Richard? The 2nd? Yeah. February 2nd, 2021. Alamance County landfill. Got to push them out. It's so wet down here. Wow.
In Oconto, USA, rising humidity has sparked a frog population boom. Tadpoles are transforming faster than ever, and soon frogs could outnumber people on the streets. For local ecosystems, that's good news. It means fewer insects and a thriving balance in nature.
Второй день продолжается эта картина.
Each spring, wild deer begin their great migration, leaving the lowlands in search of cooler, safer regions. They seek lush meadows free from predators, the perfect nursery for their young. As summer arrives, the herds climb higher into the mountains to graze and build up strength. By autumn, they return to the valleys, completing a cycle of endurance and survival that has continued for millennia. The Great African Elephant Migration is one of nature's most majestic spectacles. Every year, thousands of elephants travel vast distances across the African savannas and forests in search of water and food. Led by wise matriarchs, these herds follow ancient paths passed down through generations. Their journey not only ensures their survival, but also sustains the ecosystem, creating waterholes, spreading seeds, and shaping the land. Despite threats from climate change and habitat loss, their migration remains a powerful symbol of endurance and the wild spirit of Africa. The reindeer migration is one of the greatest natural journeys on Earth. Each year, millions of reindeer travel across the Arctic tundra of Northern Europe, Russia, and North America, covering up to 5,000 kilometers in search of fresh grazing lands. Moving in massive herds, they face freezing winds, deep snow, and rivers to reach their summer feeding grounds. Guided by instinct and memory, their migration supports countless Arctic predators and shapes the fragile northern ecosystem. It's a breathtaking display of endurance, unity, and survival in one of the planet's harshest environments.